this is Sean from ICT, and today I'm going to run you through our contactless solutions and also area counting and reporting functionality in Protege GX with the current COVID-19 situation. So in addition to our usual range of cards and tags, which by virtue of being MyFair and DesFire are contactless, we also have wristbands and Bluetooth NFC technology. So using your phone, you can give it a simple shake and unlock your door wirelessly. We also have Biometric as well, so you can use your face or iris to gain entry to your building. For additional security, you can also enable dual factor or two-factor authentication. In addition to using a card or tag or your mobile device, you can use a biometric face scanner or iris scanner. This means you don't have to use a PIN pad, which reduces the amount of contact surfaces that your staff are using during the day. For the first scenario, we're looking at area control. Now, area control requires an area inside the door and outside the door. As people pass through the door, the area count increases or decreases depending on the direction that they're walking through. So, in practice, first person walks up to the door, is granted entry. Second person attempts to walk through the door, they're also granted entry. In this case, this area has a user count of a maximum of 2 people at once, so the third person is denied entry. As they leave the area, the count decreases. The second feature enabled here is Anti-Passback on the door type. So this stops the same user from passing their credential back once they've walked through the door. In this case, the user walks through, attempts to pass their credential back to another staff member. That staff member tries to enter and is denied entry. Once that user exits the area correctly, they're able to then enter the door again. Another important use of Anti-Passback is to stop staff from tailgating. If they open the door and hold it open for another staff member, that second staff member won't be able to exit that area. They've not followed the correct protocol and they'll be locked inside that area. In case that happens, we have a range of notifications that can be alerted. We have alarms within the GX software. That's an internal alarm, and that can trigger an event or it can trigger an email to a manager or a supervisor or someone within the company that needs to know that someone has breached that protocol. Now we're going to set up our door with Anti-Passback and also enable area counting. So first step is to create our areas. Each door needs an inside area and an outside area. So we'll add these areas and we'll give them names. Now on the area that we want to be using area counting, on the configuration tab, we have max user count. Set this to the appropriate value. There's 2 additional options, which are arm on user count at 0, which will automatically arm the area when the area is empty. And we can also clear the user count on armed. So if someone arms that area and the user count might be incorrect, we can reset that area count. Now we need to set up the door type. So we add a new door type. We want to set the entry as hard passback and the exit as hard passback. Now we apply the area to the inside of the door programming, the area to the outside of the door programming. We also set the door type to the type we just created. The first step is to set up a user report. This tells us who has been on site. Then the second step is setting up an event report to tell us where that person has been and at which time. Once we have that information, we can then report on other employees or visitors who have been within proximity of the affected staff member, and we can tell them to stay at home or get tested. First, we're going to add a user report. I'm going to give it a name. the report type will be users by event type and doors. And we're going to sort it by card last used. Now set the time period that you want to use for this report. And then we need to add in the event types. That's granted entry and granted exit from door and door type. Now lastly on this page, we're also going to add in the doors that this report will apply to. Next tab over, we need to add in the appropriate columns. So we're going to add in first name, last access, location, and last door. Now when we run the user report, we get a list of all users that have been on site within the specified time period. In this case, this is just today. Before we set up the event report, we need to create an event filter. So we'll add a new event filter and we'll give that a name. And this will be reporting on user granted entry to door name, user granted exit from door name. These will be by reading mode and by using credentials. We'll apply this record to the door records and also to the user records. Now to set up the event report, we need to add a new event report. We'll give that a name and we'll add in the event filter. We'll also add in these columns. That's first name, last name, door, and field time. Now when we run a report, we can set a specified time, and that'll give us all the results of all the people and all the doors that were accessed during that specified time. We can also dynamically search this list, so we can search for a specific door or a specific person. And from there we can enable contact tracing to search which area that person was in at which time and who they were in contact with. Now that we've set up the reports in GX to report on contact tracing within the building, an additional licensed feature for GX is the Enterprise Muster Report. This allows us to display a live view of the total amount of users on site, where they are, where they've been, and who they are. By doing this, we can ensure that your company is maintaining safe staffing levels, and at any point if the count of users within an area gets too high, appropriate measures can be taken by the security team. With ICT, implementing contactless access control, area management and contact tracing is simple. I hope these two scenarios have helped explain the capabilities of the Protege system. If you have any further queries, please fill in the form below and either myself or one of my colleagues in a regional office will be in contact. Thanks for your time.